going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to do a little update on the Gladiator. We've had the truck now for about I'd say close to 9 months, and we've had the rough country 3.5 inch lift on the truck for about, I'd say, 7 months now. I've gotten a lot of comments from you guys asking for a little bit of an update on the actual lift kit, so I figured perfect time to do it would be right now. So for those of you that don't know, this is my 2020 Jeep Gladiator Sport. It is equipped with the 3.5 inch rough country lift. It is actually the spacer lift. It's not a full suspension lift. It's sitting on 35 inch Nitto tires and 20 inch Method race wheels, the same wheels that I have on my actual Rebel. So a lot of my videos are more focused on my Ram Rebel kind of project, but it's funny because the video I had the most views on has actually been about the rough country lift that I have on this Gladiator. And it really seems in the comments section, it's kind of split 50-50 on people actually wondering, you know, if the lift kit is any good, and then just a bunch of people talking shit saying that rough country is trash and it's garbage and all this and that. So I want to just go ahead and show you guys exactly how, you know, it's held up over the past 6 months, because a lot of people are saying, oh, it's going to fall apart in a few weeks, and that has not been the case whatsoever. So I was more or less installing this kit because at the time there was no other options for lifts except if you wanted to spend like $4 grand on an Evo kit. So I didn't really want to do that. I wanted for more products to start coming out. So, you know, I went ahead and installed this. I figured, hey, it's cheap, why not? It'll get me by for a few months. Let's see how it is. I'll be the guinea pig. But oddly enough, this kit, it's been great. No issues whatsoever. Ride quality is honest. I swear, I have no reason to lie. It is just as good as stock, you know, and that mainly is attributed to, in my opinion, you're still using the stock coils. See, stock coil in the front, and then in the rear, you can see back here, it's still the stock coil in the rear back there. So what you're really switching out are these, you know, rough country shocks. And a lot of people talk shit about those shocks too. But look right here. 7 months of use, has 25,000 miles on this kit already. Believe that or not. 25,000 miles, and it's fine. No rust. You know, the shocks are still good. They're not blown out. They haven't sagged any. And you know, the proof is right here, guys. The kit has held up perfectly fine. Now, again, I'm not gonna bullshit you guys and say that, you know, this truck has been wheeled every weekend or off-road every weekend. No, I live in Florida. There's no, you know, there's no rocks, there's no big trails, nothing like that. It's been mainly street use. And if you're like the majority that you're gonna use your Jeep 90% of the time on the street, this kit is perfectly fine for you. You know, don't let the haters out there try and steer you away from doing something like this because they want to talk shit on a company that used to have a bad reputation. No, it's perfectly fine. You could definitely do this. It's a budget-friendly option, and I can't really say too much negative about it. It's held up perfect for me. And again, the ride quality has not been sacrificed whatsoever. So if you're just looking to add a few more inches of lift so you can put some bigger tires on it or some bigger wheels, this is definitely a viable option for you guys. So I think since I've actually installed this, Rough Country has gone ahead and released a 3.5 inch suspension lift. So you can see here, this is the spacer lift. So you can see the spacer right there. And then in the rear as well, there's also another spacer block. You can kind of see it back here. So that's actually where you're getting the lift. And then you see, let me see if I can get you a good angle over here. Sorry guys, it's really tight over here, but yeah, you know, there's even another view of the shock right there. It's not falling apart, it's not rusted. You know, I also live in Florida, not too far from the ocean, so there's a lot of salt in the air over here. If this was such a bad kit, it'd be rusted out and falling apart already. And you can clearly see that's not the case whatsoever. My Ram Rebel is sitting on a 4-inch BDS kit with the air ride still attached to it. That kit is close to $3,000. And if you want my honest opinion, I'll talk more shit about that kit than I will about this $500 kit. Bang for buck, this is absolutely fucking rock solid. I don't care what anyone says. I also hate to say it, I've been around in the Jeep community for a while, and I know a lot of Jeep people are kind of brand snobs. Just so you see, no bullshit. 26,000 miles. So, like I said, we more or less lifted this a few weeks after I got it. So, it's, you know, it really has like 25, you know, let's say 20,000 miles on the lift kit. You know, that's more than some people will put on their rigs in a year. So I think I have some good real world experience with this lift kit, and you know, like I'm saying, I have no reason to lie. I paid, you know, I paid for this kit. This isn't a sponsored upload. None of my shit is sponsored. I pay for everything. Yeah, so you know, it is what it is. I know I'm kind of rambling here, but I just kind of wanted to make this little video for you guys. You guys were asking for an update, and I really don't have anything negative to kind of tell you guys. It's been a solid truck. It's been a solid lift kit. You know, it does what it's supposed to do. The ride quality, I'm driving it right now, feels exactly the same as stock. Do I have any future plans for this kit? You know, I honestly thought that the shocks were gonna go out, you know, more or less like what you guys were saying. A lot of people were saying, oh yeah, the shocks are trash. You know, it's a really rough ride. They're gonna go out in a few weeks, or you know, and that hasn't been the case. So I thought, you know, I was gonna go, you know, oh, maybe I'll upgrade to some Fox shocks, but you know, there's no, if it's not broken, I'm not gonna fix it. But you know, what I do plan on doing eventually is probably going, you know, balls deep with this thing and doing like a king coilovers, something like that. But you know, as of now, I don't really have any plans on doing that. I really want to swap out the air suspension in the Rebel before I do anything else suspension wise on this. I think I am going to delete the air ride in the Rebel and go with the Fox coilovers. I'm just trying to see how I can more or less adapt the coilovers into the lift kit that I already have on there, without having to spend, you know, almost $5 grand on the full coilover conversion. What's funny is when I actually threw this lift kit on there, I said that, you know, I was just looking for something to get me by until more products became available. Like I said, I installed this lift, you know, basically right when the Gladiators came out. This was one of the only few options out there without spending almost $4,000 if you don't have a Rubicon, because you need to switch out everything, unlike the Evo kit. And what's funny is that, you know, after a few months have passed, there's been a lot of people that bought those Evo kits that are now complaining about them. But, you know, they were coming over to me and hating on my videos when I just spent $500 and I really have nothing to complain about. So, again, I really think it is a lot of people talking shit about rough country because maybe one time, maybe 15, 20 years ago, they had a bad experience with it, or they read the Facebook pages or the forums, or just listen to other people that are talking shit and they don't really have any real world experience with it. It's just, you know, it's a brand thing. People like to have the best brand, and unfortunately rough country doesn't have the best history. They don't have the best reputation. So I think a lot of people talk shit about it without having any real world experience. I'll just go ahead and do a quick little walk around for you guys. This is the Smittybilt XRC front bumper that we have installed here. This is a bumper for the JL, but it also fits the JT, so obviously you can throw that on there. Got just some Harbor Freight cheap lights up here, you know, they're already fucking busted, hey, whatever. Got the Warn Winch VR8 installed up onto the Smittybilt front bumper. That's pretty solid. Over on the side here, we got the NFAB side steps. Then obviously we got the Method race wheels, the NV605s, they're 20x10s. We got the Nitto Ridge grapplers, those are a 35x12.5. And then we got the Rough Country 3.5-inch lift. That's basically all there is to this little project. It's, you know, it's been a very simple build, but hey, it's been fun. It's a Jeep, you don't really need to do too much, and they look pretty fucking badass if you ask me. So there it is, guys. Hope you enjoyed this little bit of a update video. I know it's been nothing crazy, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update since you've been asking for it. So if you like this video, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate that. Hit me up if you have any questions about Gladiator lifts or suspensions. I'll be more than glad to give you guys some insight. If you want to go ahead and get this lift kit, fucking do it. I'll see you guys next time. Later.